Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I'm talking about a few things that's going on in our world in the news, and usually a lot of times on Sunday you're used to seeing this, okay? You're used to me doing this live, but today I'm not live, but I'm going to talk about a few things, all right? Now as you can see on the screen, we're going to start off with this Brandy and Monica tour, okay? Like I said, I have wanted to go. Unfortunately, I could not go. I'm still salty. I'm still pissed about it. I'm not going to lie. Also, at the end of this video, I'm definitely going to talk about Michael Jackson in that trailer, but take a look at Michael's beautiful fine. Michael was so fine. Okay, and I've always known this from the Rock With You video, but there are so many girls now realizing, oh my God, Michael Jackson was fine, because people always obsess about the whole nose surgery thing. But no, Michael, before all that, Michael was fine. Michael Jackson was a very handsome, good-looking man, okay? And I mean, just look on the screen. I mean, seriously? So we're going to talk about him, the legend, at the end of this video. But all right, so with Brandy and Monica, Rihanna came by, and I think this is when they were in California. She showed up to support them, to surprise them, and a few other celebrities. And this was the tour to me of the year. And unfortunately, you know, I could not see them. Again, the tickets that were available were the back seats way up top, and no, I can't be all the way in the back way up there. I mean, there are some people dancing and jamming and having their fun, but I want to see them up close. And I always said before, yes, I saw Monica already, but I want to see her again. She sounds amazing in person. And Brandy, oh my God. Brandy's voice, I want to see Brandy up close. So yeah, Rihanna showed up to show her support. We know Rihanna just had her baby girl. All right. Also, we have, okay, so that's a good picture of Brandy and Rihanna right there. Brandy, Monica, Rihanna. And they look absolutely fabulous. And these are two legends in music together and showing each other, you know, she's came there to support her, show her some love. And that was really great to see. It would be even cool if Rihanna pops up and starts singing on stage with them. But that was nice of Rihanna. Also, Queen Latifah came through. Queen Latifah is a legend. I don't always think like Queen Latifah always gets her flowers to me. I think that Queen Latifah is beautiful. She's always represented plus size women so great. Her style of dress, okay, and she's great, and she's a legend, and she showed up there to support other legends. Also, LL Cool J, he showed his support and popped up. And actually, when I saw Monica years ago, it was a free concert, LL Cool J and Monica. So I saw actually both of them. So it's pretty amazing to see both of them again together. And so that was really, really cool. Really cool. And I had said before, Money Long was sick. So to fill in, Maya was performing. And a lot of people, again, was saying, why wasn't she on the tour again to begin with? Because it would just make sense. You know, Maya, Brandy, Monica, Aaliyah, Total, even though Total's a group, Toni Braxton, these were the women of the 90s and early mid 2000s stuff, but especially the 90s, late 90s and stuff that was dominating. So everybody was really happy to see Maya, and she did a really great job. Let's go. I told you we got the best. So she looked great. We know that Maya is a vegan, and people are always saying, you know, how thick Maya got because Maya was so skinny. But men and women still loved her. But now she, you know, well, she's a full-on vegan. She doesn't eat meat. And she posts that on her page. She eats very healthy. She just eats fruits and vegetables and beans and things like that. And her body looks incredible. She's maintained herself. Her skin looks great. Okay, and she's doing the damn thing and showing support for Brandy and Monica and filling in. And a lot of people said, why don't y'all just make Maya a permanent person on the tour? It would make sense. Also, we have Toni Braxton announced that she's going on tour with Boys to Men and New Edition. I wanted to go to that concert, okay, and it's already sold out, the best seats, and the concert is not until, and at least where I'm at, next year. So, you know, what I have learned, baby, if you want to see who you want to see, you don't know who's always going to go on tour. You have to save up your money every single month to be prepared, because these tickets sell out fast. Even if it's $400, $700 for the best seats, they sell out. So, yeah, it would be a dream to also see Toni Braxton. And I mean, if I were to go, I wouldn't have the seats that I want unless somebody gives up their ticket type of thing. But Toni does tour throughout the year sometimes, so I'm thinking I'll have my chance again to see Toni. It's not the end, but yeah, it's just, yeah, if you know you want to go to concerts, and I had said that some of these artists just kind of pop up out the blue, performing and stuff, and you don't always know they're going on tour. Yeah, it's just good to have some money saved up for your concerts. You know, like I said, they're saying that Sade is supposedly going to go on tour next year. This is a rumor. And I'm like, I have to be ready. I have to be ready if Sade announces a tour, because it's going to sell out very, very quickly. I already know that. So didn't get to see Brandy and Monica. I'm pissed off. I'm hoping they do another tour or something very soon. I'll be ready. And Toni Braxton, I was hoping that I'm able to see her. The tickets already sold out, the best seats. So this is crazy. All right. So hopefully I'll get another chance. So let's go on to the next topic. Okay. It'll be amazing to see these legendary women that I absolutely love, these great singers that so many of us grew up listening to, and they're still making music. So it's great to still show support. All right. So our living legends. The next story that I want to talk about real quick is this nurse. I posted the video where a black woman in Texas, she was pregnant and she was waiting for 30 minutes. They didn't even treat her. She was in labor. And this very nonchalant, cruel nurse, many people think that she's racist, she was asking her these questions that didn't need to be asked at that time. She literally gave birth 12 minutes later, sitting in that wheelchair. So they actually fired her. Her name went viral where she worked. There was another video of her before being mean to another patient. So yeah, they have fired her. It says Texas mom left screaming in labor for 30 plus minutes at a Dallas Regional Medical Care Center. Gives birth 12 minutes after finally being seen by an RN in a viral video. That's her. They said that she has been terminated. All right. Her name is LaChrista Vaughn. The RN at the Dallas Regional Medical Center has been fired after a viral video showed her asking for paperwork and all this other stuff, and asking her these questions like how many kids you got and all this other stuff while she was in active labor. So in a wheelchair. So they have fired her. That is her. The public was absolutely outraged. Okay, let's look again what happened.
Fuck! When's your due date? Right now. Is your due date 11? What? How many times have you been pregnant? 3. This is your 3rd pregnancy?
Yes!
You have 2 babies
It's
at
in
home?
my ass!
You have 2 babies at home? Who's your doctor?
Lang is her doctor. Y'all treat all your patients like this or just the black ones?
Whatever is the personality patient for you.
Said it was the 10th.
And her due date's the 10th. Fuck! When's your due date?
Right now.
Is your due date 11?
And the woman, the nurse, she barely even looked at her. She just really didn't give a damn that this woman is in agony. She has no epidural. So you know natural childbirth is extremely, extremely painful. And a lot of women don't make it. And she didn't really give a damn. She had no compassion or love. And she's asking her these questions she can ask her later. Get her to a room or get a doctor. And I mean, she ended up giving birth early, 12 minutes later. They also said the baby was stressed and the baby went due to it pooped. Okay, so they had to clean out the baby's eyes and everything because the baby was stressed. So they have fired her. All right. It says also this viral TikTok video shows a black mom in active labor begging for help, and a white nurse, while a nurse at the Dallas Regional Medical Center kept her in the waiting area asking for these questions. Moments later, again, she gave birth 12 minutes later. After finally being taken to the back, the RN, identified as LaChrista Vaughn, has been fired, and people are calling this another example of black maternal health crisis, of the black maternal health crisis, medical racism, a medical neglect that puts black women at a higher risk during childbirth. Black women in the U.S. are 3 to 4 times more likely to pass away during childbirth, and delays like this are one of the reasons, okay? And like I said before, it's not always something stamped on somebody's head where you know who's racist and who's not. But there's proof in the pudding. I mean, we have the statistics. We have women recording and speaking out. They have done studies where they actually asked medical students if they thought black people had thicker skin and could take pain better. And they said yes. I'm like, what's wrong with you? What the hell is wrong with you? Why would you think something like that? We don't have thicker skin than anybody. We feel the same pain as anyone else. And even if you thought that, do your damn job. If somebody says they need a painkiller, give them the medicine. I don't care. You can think whatever you want to think, but if I'm the patient and if I said I'm in pain, I'm in pain. But then you have some cruel people who want you to be in pain because they don't like you and they want you to suffer, type of thing. And this is why so many black people again are saying, look, we have to start dominating and getting into these fields in healthcare so that black women and men have someone to go to that's not trying to unalive them or punish them and all this other stuff. I mean, these are real things that happens. And like I said before, not everybody that's not a black healthcare person is hurting a black person or trying to take you off the earth, but you have a number who do this. So it's a mixture going on, type of thing. So like I said, I hope that she sues the hospital or sues the nurse. I mean, it's all on camera. So let's go to the next topic of what I've seen recently.
Wait a minute.
Okay, so Kris Jenner, she had her 70th birthday party and Tina Knowles showed up, Beyonce showed up. Look, I actually haven't seen this video, but I like how fabulous they all look. So I'm like, okay, let's check this video out. Beyonce looks great. Kris Jenner looks great. I mean, she's 70 and she looks absolutely amazing. Whether she had, look, I don't have to get into it about work and all that other stuff. She looks good. She looks good. And Tina looks good. They all look great.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jen Troy Hay, and when I covered this story earlier today, I listed celebrities: Oprah, Tyler Perry, Mariah Carey, but I did not know that Beyonce herself and Miss Tina Knowles attended the party as well. Where was this picture? I'm just seeing it because Miss Tina Knowles decided to post it on her page and share it, but I don't see anybody else posting this picture of Beyonce and Miss Tina Knowles being at the party. So this is great. You know, their exclusivity. Am I saying that right? Exclusivity? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. It's like beyond me because in all those pictures that were released, nobody knew that Beyonce was there. And that's a big step. Like, wow. Wow. If I didn't want to be a fly on the wall before, I sure as heck do now.
Yeah, I wonder why they would want to keep that under wraps. What's crazy is that there used to be a rumor that Beyonce didn't like Kim Kardashian, that Kim wanted to hang out with her, and, you know, she was with Kanye, and Kanye didn't always, I mean, look at the things that Kanye West has said about Beyonce's children and Jay-Z and Beyonce, and that's not Kim's fault or whatever, and Kim divorced Kanye for being problematic. So I guess now that Kanye is out the picture, they got together and became friends or something. I don't know if it was because Kanye was problematic and they wanted to stay away. But I used to hear those type of things like, oh, Beyonce doesn't like Kim. She didn't want to be associated type of thing. But as we can see, I mean, they're showing support to Kim's mother and they're at the party all looking fabulous. There were a number of people and other people are like, damn, like, how does Kris know all these people? But she's in the industry and Tina's in the industry, even though they're not singing. I mean, they're the ones like Joe Jackson type of thing. They helped make their daughter's career and guided them. And they're friends with other celebrity mothers' friends. So that's also how they know each other.
Kris Jenner just celebrated her 70th birthday, and boy, did she do it in style. This is 70. Let that sink in. She had a James Bond themed birthday party. I mean, it doesn't get any more fantastic than that. There were so many celebrities in attendance, but starting with Kendall and Haley. Okay, Kendall's dress was just top tier. This is Kylie's look. I like it. I don't love this though. Mariah Carey was there. Tina Knowles. Prince Harry and Meghan. Kyle Richards. Oprah Winfrey. Mark Zuckerberg and Priscilla Chen. Alabama Barker. Vin Diesel. Who made this guest list? Gayle King. Miranda Kerr and Evan Spiegel. Her dress was actually really great. Scott Disick looking very dapper. Rita Wilson. Okay, Kathy Hilton's legs look amazing. I'm just saying, when I saw this photo, I was like, wow, she has great legs. Sarah Paulson and Naomi Watts. Okay, this was odd to me. I know Adrienne Bailon dated Rob Kardashian way back in the day, but why are they still inviting her to the events? I don't know. I think that's weird. Liberty Ross, Meghan and Daryl, the fabulous Paris Hilton. Food God was there, of course. Stassi, which is Kylie's BFF. Toni Braxton, another guest that I'm just curious, like the connection. Here's Kim Kardashian's look. I can't find like a really good picture yet, but when I do, I'll show you. But just from this alone, it looks incredible. Kourtney and Travis. Here's another look at Kendall's, but I have a better one. Tyler Perry, Martha Stewart. I mean, insane. This was Chloe's dress. She's actually wearing Ludovic de Saint Cernin. This is Kendall's look. I mean, it's just so beautiful on her. This is Kourtney's. I think Kourtney looked really good, to be completely honest. This is probably the best I've seen her look in a really long time. That was a wild guest list. Kris Jenner, 70 years old. Dying to know what you thought of the event. Please let's chat in the comments.
Okay, so, I'm here for the fashion. I love seeing fashion, but what surprised me is what Mariah Carey. Y'all know I love Mariah Carey and Prince Harry and Meghan of Sussex there. So this was a big guest list, seriously. And a lot of people would say, damn, like, how did she get them to come there? Did she pay anybody to come there type of thing? I probably don't think so. And this was a great event, PR event as well, seeing the dresses and everything like that. But yeah, a lot of people were surprised by that list that she had show up, the Hiltons and Gayle, Oprah. I mean, mega. Okay, celebrities coming there. So Toni Braxton, the legend. And they all look fabulous. It's fun to be able to dress up and have somewhere to go and have good food and drinks and everything. So yeah, she did that and she looked really, really good. She looks great. Okay, so I want to let you know something when it comes to health alerts real quick. There have been some recalls. Let's get into that a little bit. Actually, no. Before we get into that, this video was kind of old. I'm late talking about it. This guy saw black people picking something like on a field. This was in Florida, and he went up there because he's like, what's going on here? Is this slavery? Like, oh, why are y'all picking? Why are y'all picking stuff? Are y'all picking cotton? Are y'all picking vegetables? Like, what's going on here? Because this woman was older. So he went up there, and this is what happened.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Okay.
All right. Are y'all okay out here? You sure? Y'all good? Okay. How long have y'all been working out here? Okay. Thank you. Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Okay.
All right. Are y'all okay out here?
Okay, so a lot of people said, look at her eyes. Now, you notice an accent. They're foreigners. Some people think they might be from Haiti. Okay, I'm not sure where she is from. And what stood out to me immediately is how old she is. She's an old woman. And do you know what kind of back-breaking work that is, to have to pick things and keep bending over. She's too old. She shouldn't be in this position where she has to pick anything, first of all. And if you look at her eyes, a lot of people are saying that there is pain and panic and fear in her eyes. And look at when I first heard about it, before I really watched it, I thought, okay, black people picking vegetables. I mean, that's farm work and people still work. It's not slavery to pick vegetables for a company you work for or yourself. You're working. But I'm bothered at how old she is doing this type of work. But then when you really study and look at her face, she appears to be in some sort of a little bit of distress. Okay. And something else I noticed from the video is when she kind of shushed him away, she was dismissive. Look, like she's looking. All right. And look like, you got to go. You got to get up out of here. You got to get up out of here. Let me just do this. Take it quickly and go. No talking. Now, some people might think, oh, well, she just has to get back to work. And there was a white man and it appeared a Hispanic woman who was sort of close by that works for the company. And they really tried to come off as nice, but also quickly dismissive with them. How do we know she's not being mistreated? I mean, when you can import people from other countries who work for less money and where they don't have work and job laws like here in America, there are a lot of people who want to use immigrants to work because they won't question anything. They're desperate for money and work, that they will let you treat them any kind of way. Not that they want to be treated bad, but because they need the money so bad and they don't even speak English that much, type of thing. And where they're from, these type of things do happen and it's considered normal to some people. Remember, slavery is still in other countries and it's still legal. Even if it's not, it still goes on. And you have people again coming here who are desperate for jobs, and now you have ICE and this immigration thing going on. People are afraid of being found out and being sent back home, so they're like being quiet and just doing their job. And how do we know what's going on there? We don't know how she's being treated. I'm not going to say she's being mistreated, but she is. I mean, people look at body language. People will look at body language, and you look at a person's eyes, and the eyes, they say, could be the windows to the soul. She's moving very quickly. Yes, she has to work, but also is she moving quickly like that? That noise she made and that look in her eye is something more going on, type of thing. Also, is anybody going to maybe start, maybe someone that knows her might start a GoFundMe or something? I don't think she should be doing this type of work at that age, type of thing. Her back is probably hurting. She should be resting. So maybe there might be an investigation. I don't know. But yes, this is slightly disturbing. No, I wasn't bothered at the thought of black people picking vegetables and doing farm work. That's a job. But I am bothered if she's being mistreated because she doesn't speak English. I don't know if she's legal or illegal, and I don't know how she's being treated, but I definitely don't want her, again, being at that age doing that back-breaking work. That's not right at all, and it's painful. Okay, so maybe we might find out more in the future about what's going on there. Okay, so let's get into some recalls going on and something I think you really should know for your health right now as a woman.
Pap smears do not screen for ovarian cancer. They do not screen for uterine or endometrial cancer. They do not screen for vaginal or vulvar cancers either. They do not screen for infections. They do not screen for causes of pain. You could literally be bleeding between your periods, feeling bloated all the time, or having pelvic pain and still have a normal pap smear result.
This shocked a lot of women because they tell you every year you need to go to the OBGYN, and they think that they're looking at everything in your vagina to see what's wrong. And some of y'all are having pains down there, pains in your ovaries and stuff like that. And this doctor is telling you, no, when you go there, we're only looking for cervical cancer. We're not looking at anything else. So the women are like, well, why the hell are we going to the OBGYN? Like, hold on. I thought y'all looked at everything. You have women being diagnosed with ovarian cancer, endometrial cancer, all these things going on and these problems. And they're like, oh my goodness, here's the thing. When you go, you have to get an ultrasound. You have to ask for an ultrasound. I've had one, and that's when they take the thing up there and they take the pictures. They can see your uterus, your ovaries, your lining, all of that. And when you get that, that's how they know if something is going on in there. They can see the cysts, I think maybe even fibroids. They can see that. They can see if something's wrong with your lining, and then they might request a biopsy when and it is painful, and they don't give you any anesthesia, and they collect the tissue sample from your lining to see if you have any cancer, anything going on there, or anything abnormal cells type of thing. But you don't get that from a normal pap smear. Yes, when you go in there, they stick the thing up there and they swab you and stuff, and they can look at all other types of stuff, but they're not looking for all the stuff you think they are. That's why you need to ask them or request, look, I want an ultrasound, a vaginal ultrasound, okay?
Pap smears only screen for cervical cancer. That's it. I've seen women feel blindsided by a diagnosis because they thought they were in the clear after having a normal pap. So here's what a pap smear actually does. It looks for abnormal cell changes on the cervix, especially those caused by HPV. HPV may be tested, but it's not always ordered by your provider. If your pap smear is normal, it is a great sign, but it doesn't give us any information about your ovaries, uterus, fallopian tubes, or other reproductive organs. So what can you do regarding risks of other reproductive cancers? The first is get your yearly GYN exam, even if you've had a hysterectomy. Second, talk to your doctor if you're having unusual symptoms like persistent bloating, changes in your discharge, pelvic pain or pressure, back pain, weight gain or weight loss, pain with intercourse, or any kind of unexplained bleeding. And please advocate for yourself. If something doesn't feel right, speak up. You know your body, and if something feels off, we investigate, even if your pap smear is absolutely perfect.
Okay, so again, a lot of women said, you mean I've been going to the OBGYN getting these pap smears thinking I'm fine, even though I'm bleeding with intercourse. I have pains in my ovaries and weird, irregular menstrual cycles, or clotting that ain't normal, all this other stuff. And she's like, no, we look for cervical cancer. We don't look at everything. So I was looking through the comments and everything. But yeah, you have to get an ultrasound. And there was something else, but definitely ask for an ultrasound. And it's not painful, the ultrasound. And then they'll see even more of what's going on all of those areas. And they'll get back to you. And you might have to get a biopsy if they see anything abnormal. So this is something, it's always interesting when I hear doctors say, you have to ask the provider. This is like, people assume, look, I'm going to a doctor. That's their job to see what's wrong. Like, why do people have to request all this stuff? Why aren't you automatically looking at all of this type of thing? I mean, going to get a pap is not comfortable for a number of women. What they stick up there. Back in the day, it was metal. You remember they used to crank it or something, or just, go up there with the metal thing. Now they have something that's not as painful, and for some women it still is painful, and a biopsy is painful a lot. So, but you have to do it. You have to do it if they tell you need to get this done. So I wanted to share that with you for so many of you who didn't know. Yeah, they're not, if you want to know, because you never know, you might have ovarian cysts, but you might feel symptoms and stuff, and all this craziness going on and pains and stuff. Yeah, ultrasound. That's what you asked for. All right, let's get into it.
Don't eat any shrimp. The FDA just warned us. In over 40 states, shrimp has been contaminated with radiation.
You notice how many recalls there have been this year? I've never seen so many recalls on food in my life like I've seen this year. I'm thinking, what's going on? Like, are people at the plants, the food factories, are they not doing their job? Or like, why is this happening? Why is this happening on so much cheeses, deli meats, now the shrimp? Also, now we have pasta and rice, and some people have actually passed away from eating bad pasta and bad rice this year.
This is going to be a very unpopular take, but I think if some of us had the mentality of J-Lo, I think we would be probably further in life.
I really love this video. Now, look, I know that J-Lo gets a lot of hate in the black community, but it wasn't always like that. Not at first. And yes, I like a lot of her music. And yes, I think she's a beautiful woman. And yes, I love her fashion. She can really, really dress. I like to see her outfits. And I have heard some things about her. Like, look, we know about in the music industry. Yes, a lot of artists get other people's songs. Jennifer Lopez is not the only one. And it's not her fault what the label gives her type of thing. And also we know about Ashanti with singing vocals, and J-Lo got the song. Her label had did this to her, not J-Lo. I don't know if she knew for sure who was the original writer of stuff type of thing. My thing is that, I mean, Ashanti, look, I love Ashanti, but Ashanti was sued by a black woman because she said that Ashanti stole her children's book idea type of thing, and she got sued. My point is that this happens a lot in the industry. People getting other people's songs. I know Mariah Carey, who I love so much, doesn't really F with J-Lo. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and I'm not saying it's right, but I know that a lot of artists don't always have all the power that, you know, it's the labels and their managers and all these people higher ups who push certain things. We've heard about Illuminati and being in control of artists and these things. Okay, so I'm not saying everyone is innocent type of thing. So because I know that comes up a lot when it comes to J-Lo, but with this video, and I love Ashanti, I love J-Lo, I love Mariah Carey. And I don't think it is right for anyone, if you know for sure this is someone else's song type of thing. My thing is, you would think that there is copyright protection. You know, you write a song, you get it copywritten under the government. You know, there's a website to do it. How can someone legally take someone else's song and you can't sue them type of thing? So I know J-Lo, that song, Ain't It Funny, back then you want me and you had me, ain't it crazy? You could hear a little bit of Ashanti's vocals, I believe, on that. I think she might have wrote a little bit on that song type of thing. So, but the point with this video is that he's saying that if people, because some people feel like J-Lo can't really sing. There are a number of artists today who really can't sing. Some of your faves I'm not even going to mention, but they make good music. The production is good. They might not have the strongest voices, but they can make a good song. They can dance, and you can dance to it. And I love a good singer, a powerhouse. Okay, a Mariah Carey. All right. So, with this video, he's saying people who think that J-Lo isn't talented and they think J-Lo is delusional and stuff. He's like, yeah, but look at where the power of this delusion and this drive and ambition has gotten her. And if people had the mentality like, you can't tell me what I cannot accomplish, then they might get further along type of thing. Let's see a little bit more.
J-Lo is the epitome of, if I say I can do it, I can do it. J-Lo said, I want to act, I'm going to act. I want to sing, I'm going to sing. And I know there's going to be a whole lot of people like, but she can't sing and she can't act. But J-Lo thinks she can sing. J-Lo thinks she can act. And J-Lo believes that she deserves to sing and she deserves to act. So you see what's the difference there? Like, J-Lo believes that J-Lo can do it. And J-Lo believes that J-Lo should do it. Therefore, J-Lo does it. And this same woman who a lot of folks say can't sing, performed on one of the biggest stages in the world, which is the Super Bowl, right? And so I guess when it comes to J-Lo, whose report do you believe? And if you don't know that reference, that's from the Black Church, right? It's a gospel song. J-Lo believes J-Lo's report. And so therefore, J-Lo is who J-Lo is. J-Lo thinks she can act. And J-Lo believes that she deserves to sing and she deserves to act. So you see what's the difference there? Like, J-Lo believes that J-Lo can do it. And J-Lo believes that J-Lo should do it.
Okay, so I agree with him in this video, because what he's saying is you can say whatever you want, and it's not just her. She's just an example. You can say what you want, but she believes she deserves it, and she goes for it. And you can say it, but who went to the Super Bowl? Who sells out albums and concerts? The people have spoken. You can say whatever you want, but yet when she has a concert, it's sold out. When she releases an album, it does well. People can talk. What has the numbers said? And the result? Look at J-Lo will go down in history. She opened the door for Hispanic Latino women in America in entertainment. Okay, now Selena, her playing Selena was crucial to making her career. But remember, Selena was about to cross over. Selena spoke English, but she ended up learning Spanish and singing in Spanish and became a mega star in the Spanish Hispanic community. Then before her album came out and she was going to be even bigger with English speakers, and she already spoke English, her life was taken from her. J-Lo played Selena. J-Lo was already an upcoming actress doing her thing. Selena made her a megastar, and she wanted to sing, and she got into it, made her connections. We know she was doing puffy R&B and pop, and the songs were hits, massive hits, and the rest is history. And people can say, oh, well, who does she think she is? She doesn't care what you think. And that's the key thing about just period as a woman. You know how you have men saying, well, oh, you're a certain age over 25 and this and that. And you even have some crazy women who will say, well, I don't deserve a good man because, well, I'm this weight or I've been divorced. It's like you put yourself in a box. If a woman says I deserve that, and you're not going to tell me what I can and cannot have. If you want to think that you don't deserve a fine, good looking man who has his finances together, you can think that. If you want to think, well, I'm not skinny, I'm curvy or plus size, so I can't, or, oh, I'm not in that league. I don't do the whole date within your level thing. That's for a man, not a woman. You're not going to tell me what kind of man I can have at all. I'm not staying in any lane. I'm not a peasant, first of all. I don't stay in lanes when it comes to certain stuff. I'm going to date that man I want that got it together. And I don't give a damn if you have a problem that I'm not super skinny or not. I've already dated fine ass men, and I was way bigger. I've lost weight and thing. Okay. I've dated a man who had it together. So I never felt undeserving. Women who think they're undeserving are not going to go to a certain level because you don't think you deserve it. You think, why are you listening to what society is telling you should be able to have? Because for different reasons. Okay. A lot of people love to focus on weight type of thing. Okay, you're not super skinny. Or, oh, you're over 25. Oh, you're 40. Oh, you've had children. Jeff Bezos married that woman. Say that Sanchez woman. She's she's not young. She looks great. She has children, and guess what? He still wiped her up while you have men in red pills saying, oh, a man with means wouldn't marry a woman like that. Well, he did, because an alpha man ain't listening to what other men think anyway. He's going to go for what he wants. He doesn't care what anyone is saying. So with J-Lo is like, look, you can say I can't sing, but yet the albums sell. The videos do well. I sell out concerts. I'm well off and rich, and I'm a household name. You can think whatever you want. Certain things ain't meant for everybody. I did that. I'm going to do that. And nobody's going to tell me what I can or cannot do. I want to sell perfume, damn it. I'm going to have my perfume line. Okay. And I think that this is a wonderful example of ambition. You can say the power of delusion or the power of ambition. You have people who want to stay in their lane, stay in their place. And you can try things and you don't always succeed. But like Aaliyah said, you got to dust yourself off and try again if you want it. And be okay sometimes. You know what? I did it. I tried. Maybe it didn't work, but I'm going to go down saying in my life, look, I actually tried to do this. I actually did this. I was interested in it. And everyone's version of what fulfills them in life is different. I don't live my life worried about if I have to have a certain degree that you think I should have, or I don't really care what you think. Everyone's journey is different and everyone's destiny is different. And there are plenty of people who didn't go the route that people thought they should, and they became very successful. And of course, it is good to get the things that you need that can help you. Like if you want a certificate or a degree in a certain field, it's wonderful to have that because you'll have something to fall back on. But sometimes that doesn't happen for everyone, but they have ambition, they have creativity, and they can do it. And sometimes things work out for people. And people say, hold on to your faith and pray. And that also helps a number of people. And yeah, I think that J-Lo, despite what people say, she has been an inspiration for women to go for their dreams. You know, she came from the Bronx or whatever, and she did change everything for Hispanic women in entertainment. She's going to go down in history, and people, you can say all you want, you know, but she has the audacity, she has the ambition, and she believes that she belongs and that she can do it, and she did it. And like I said, everyone has different dreams and goals, type of things they want to do, you know, a bucket list of things they want to do. And some people might think, well, that's nothing, but to you it was something. You know, I always wanted to be a vendor at a flea market. You know, I was selling jewelry and things at that time. So one day I just said, okay, and I signed up, and I was one at a flea market. I went to Walmart, and I bought my beautiful material to go over the table that they give you your booth. It was beautiful. I got some flowers from Walmart that popped and stood out. I printed off pictures of celebrity women that actually wore the jewelry that I was selling, this fashion costume jewelry. I had that in the frames. I had a list that I printed out if you wanted to sign up for my email list. I had it set up perfectly, and I did it that day. I always wanted to do it, and I did it. I made some money. I said, okay, I'm going to give myself a $100 budget. And this is at the time when, you know, AliExpress and all the jewelry was lower price, not today, for some of it. And I said, okay, I have $100. I'm going to buy up $100 worth of jewelry. And then I'm going to sell it, flip the price or whatever. And I went to the flea market as a vendor amongst all the vendors, and, you know, they were nice and all that stuff. And I sold some jewelry that day. It's just something that I always wanted to do. And there's a few other things that I want to do. Some of them I've done, and everyone has different goals and things they want to do. That's just one. I have a lot of other stuff that I want to do. Things when it comes to business and all these other types of things. But yeah, basically, don't let someone tell you that you can't or you don't deserve or that you can't do it, type of thing. J-Lo believed she could, and she did. Even if her voice is not considered the greatest in the world, she still made good music. And, you know, it's about, you don't always have to quote unquote stay in your lane as far as dreams and ambition and things you want to do. And I say that again, even within the dating world. Yes, it's good to look, you want to be healthy. You want to be able to wear cute outfits, and if you can be fabulous, go on a diet. And while you're on the journey with the diet, still being fabulous. And people are always trying to tell you what all men want. Not all men are the same. They're not. Not every man likes the same thing. So don't think that you can't have what you want. Okay? Because there are a lot of people who want to try to humble you and like, oh, you can't have that and all this other stuff. Or these type of men go for this. Be quiet. You don't know what he like. And you ain't me. That's the key thing. You ain't me. Okay? So I love it. Now let's get into Michael Jackson. Okay, I definitely had to save the best topic for last. First of all, before we get into this Michael Jackson trailer that has everybody hyped up, and it's not going to be released until April. And a lot of people said, look, this is going to make $1 billion. It has to. And baby, I want you to see. I mean, look at Michael. Let's just take a moment to really look at Michael. Michael was so damn beautiful. He was so smexy and very good looking. He's a very good looking man. A lot of the Jacksons are good looking. And Michael was so beautiful, so beautiful. And look, people always say, oh, if Michael only knew he was beautiful. Michael knew he was a good looking man. That doesn't mean he didn't have some issues because of his father and a few fans, okay? But, you know, that smile and the flirtatious looks, he knew he had a lot of girls that liked him. I mean, seriously, he was a big star since he was a little boy, and the girls went crazy for him. Michael, as he got older, he was so good looking. I mean, damn, when I see this picture, and this, for me, is the rock with you time. I wanna rock with you all night. I love it. He looks so damn good. One thing I love is that Michael Jackson, not only did he have a beautiful bone structure to me, because I like bone structures, he had beautiful eyes, and he had such a beautiful smile. Such a beautiful smile. I mean, damn, look at Michael. You know, I also noticed that he was getting built when he was younger, a little bit muscular, but he has gorgeous features to me. You know, I had said before, I don't run across a lot of men in my daily life that actually look like him. You know, he has a face that stands out to me. It's not a face that you see on every street corner, you know. So I think that Michael was very, very handsome. I mean, his smile, beautiful teeth, beautiful eyes, and he was so cute. So look, I found these pictures, and I wanted to share these pictures. People, I mean, Lord. And it's amazing. I'm seeing so many women and girls of this generation who are like, oh my God, I would have totally talked to Michael Jackson. Michael was so fine. And yes, he was. I love his eyes, though. I love his eyes. They're mysterious. They're beautiful. I like the shape of his eyes. And again, I like his bone structure. So yeah, Michael had it going on. Okay, people tend to want to focus on negative parts, you know, of his story, and focus on, oh, if he did, you know what, to the whole surgery thing. But Michael was good looking. Even when he did get the surgery, he was still good looking, but he was good looking before all of that. So yeah, I wanted to share these photos. These are not pictures that you often see on being shown on the internet, some of these photos. So yeah, that's him with Janet. Okay, skin glistening, looking beautiful. Again, I like his jaw, and I like his eyes, and I like his smile. Okay, so look, his nephew, the son of Jermaine, his brother Jermaine is playing him, is coming out. The producers and Bohemian Rhapsody, which did very well. We have the director Anton Fuqua has directed this film. And some people are saying, oh, Jaafar don't look like Michael. Well, first of all, he's not Michael, but he is related to Michael. And look at this photo. Look at how similar they look. Okay, look at the similarities. Seriously. And like, oh, Jermaine. Well, Jermaine is Michael's brother, and Jermaine and Michael have the same mama and daddy. They have the same genetics to some degree. And this is, I mean, look, you have impersonators and all that stuff, but look, his nephew is playing him. So this is an honor. A lot of people said this is going to make him an absolute megastar after doing this film. Okay. So yeah, I saw the similarities. Some like, oh no, he looks like Jermaine. That's fine. But he also looks like Michael too, a mixture going on. So because of copyright issues, I can't play the trailer. I wanted to, but look at this picture right here. They're like, oh my God, we're looking at Michael. We're looking at Michael again. So it says in theaters, April 24th. And I'm really praying and hoping that this film does what we want it to do. They said that they're not getting into the scandals and all that other stuff, but they said this is the closest that people are going to get to witnessing Michael again. All right, so look, a lot of you know how I feel. This film has to top this. If it's not on the level of this one, I'm sorry, it's a failure. I'm not saying that it is. I'm hoping it has to be better than this. Hopefully, Antoine Fuqua looked at this before he even decided to direct and get involved with the film, because this is the standard. The Jacksons and American Dream is the greatest movie, or, you know, a movie on a person's life, a biography type of thing. This used to play all the time on VH1 all the time. And it's a masterpiece. I think it should have won an Oscar. It's a masterpiece. And this is top tier. So look, the production looks amazing. He looks like Michael a lot, the dancing, the fashion, but is the acting and the storyline, is it on this level is what I want to see. Okay, this is it, baby. This is it. This is the best. This is the best that's ever been done to show the Jackson family, Michael Jackson's rise. I think most people who have seen this will agree. If you haven't seen this, you need to go watch it. I mean, it's amazing. The story, you really see it. And the acting, Angela Bassett, again, I mean, I'm missing a few names. It has a very all-star cast, and it was so damn good. I mean, you just don't even see stuff like this today like this. And I'll never get tired of this. The Jackson, an American Dream, and it truly was Black American royalty, and you really see it. This is off the chain, this film right here, and it was on TV. They used to play it one day and then the next day because it was like 3 or 4 hours. That's how massive and how big their legacy is. And it shows you the rise, how Michael Jackson went solo and what happened and so much. It's so good. So to me, okay, it's coming. But I know doggone well they watched this and studied this before they made it. Because if they didn't, baby, you have to top this. So this coming out, I expect it and I need to see it top this or at least be on the level of this. And baby, it should win Oscars. People are saying that this film coming out with Jaafar is going to win Oscars and stuff. We shall see. So let's look at a few videos real quick where there's a Michael Jackson impersonator who didn't like the trailer and people are telling him, look, stay in your lane. Yes, you look like Michael right now when later in his life. But Jaafar is playing him. He can play him when he was younger and everything. And that's his blood and everything. So just show support to him. Okay, so he's showing, look, people are saying, oh, it doesn't look like Michael. Well, first of all, he's not Michael, but he is his nephew. And he's like, look at the similarities in their features, their facial features. I always say those Jackson eyes, a little bit similar, okay? And in different scenes, you can see it, like right here at the Grammys. Looks straight up like very similar to Michael, all right? Also, people said, look at Jaafar. He actually sounds like Michael when he sings.
As long as you love me, I'll be a platinum, I'll be a silver, I'll be a gold. When I saw the piano and hearing my brother sing.
Okay, he sounds like Michael. He sounds like him. Okay? So it's pretty amazing. It's definitely amazing. Give me a quick little second. Let me turn the volume down on that. Okay, so people are also commenting, you know, they see the similarities and look at Michael's mother and look at her. You know, Michael has Native American ancestry, which is not uncommon for us here in America, despite what some people love to try to make us hide our ancestry or say someone's lying and to be ashamed when no, a lot of us are not. Do some have Native ancestry? Yes. And do some people don't have them? Some don't. They do. So, and you can see that, I mean, you know, because I believe the mother of her and Jaafar are, I believe she's Hispanic. I think she's Hispanic. I think so. Not 100% sure, but I think she is. But, you know, a lot of Hispanics also have indigenous ancestry. You know, just like here in America, when you have Native ancestry, it's also indigenous and very similar facial features. So, yeah, when I saw this picture of her next to Michael's mother, I mean, you definitely see the resemblance going there. Those eyes and that smile. So you definitely see it in that picture. Okay, so, all right. So Jaafar can sing. Let's get into Fabio.
People are very upset with this Michael Jackson impersonator's reaction to the Michael Jackson biopic. So Fabio Jackson is probably the most popular Michael Jackson impersonator in the world right now. Well, he posted a video reacting to the Michael Jackson biopic that's coming out soon, and people did not like this video. After everyone saw Fabio's reaction to the biopic, people were kind of upset that he wasn't just straight up glazing the film, and they felt like he was kind of judging the main actor that was chosen for Michael. Basically, people are saying it's out of jealousy that he wasn't chosen to play Michael instead. Fabio actually released a response to the criticism, basically saying that he's not going to like glaze a film that he hasn't seen yet. But
okay, so one thing I can say, because I actually didn't always hear about Fabio. I'm trying to get that picture. Hold on.
Not gonna like glaze a film.
Okay. He definitely does look like Michael, but later in Michael's career and everything like that. I mean, look, can he act is the thing. Jaafar was meant for this role. And if they wanted to include Fabio, they could have used him later in Michael's career, you know, after the vitiligo and all that other stuff, because they do look extremely similar. But it's Jaafar. Jaafar is playing him. Also, it's a tribute to his uncle. And people are excited to see it. Even his voice sounded like Michael. So this is really great. You know, I'm sure that the theaters are going to be packed. A lot of people are saying, let's get dressed up to go see it. I'm going to see this in film, in the theaters. In the theaters, even though I said, look, the Jackson, the American Dream is the pinnacle for me. But I'm ready for this. I want to see this. A lot of people haven't been to the theater in a long time and are excited to go back again. Like when we saw Titanic, how major it was. And they're like, look, we got to get dressed up. I said, well, maybe I might wear a sequence shirt, a sequence jacket. We know Michael loves sequins. I love sequins. Maybe just a sequence, a black or blue or something, sequence top in my pants type of thing. I'm not sure. But this is going to be an event for a lot of people, especially the fans. And Michael was the biggest artist in the entire world. And he still is. He just made history again. So a lot of people are excited. Let's see what another Michael Jackson impersonator had to say about this whole Fabio mess.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Michael Travis in here. I just want to say, if you're a Michael Jackson fan, fanatic, lookalike, tribute, impersonator, influencer, whatever you are, man, I believe that we should all support the Michael Jackson biopic film because at the end of the day, man, it's not about us. It's not about me. It's not about my opinion. It's not about who looks the most like Michael Jackson, who sounds the most like Michael Jackson, who dances the most like Michael Jackson between anybody in the community. No, this is about Michael Jackson. The movie is literally being made by his family. Like, we should definitely just pay that respect. It's not about what I think about it. We should be happy that something positive is coming to the community right now. I'm so tired of seeing movies like Leaving Neverland and all these weird documentaries trying to shame Michael Jackson's name. I'm tired of that. So we actually have something positive that's coming that's going to focus on Michael Jackson's legacy, man. And with that, I'm all for it. Let's stop critiquing everything, trying to change it, and trying to morph it into something that's going to satisfy our own egos. Come on, man. Let's just have fun with it. It's Groovy, baby, 2084.
Okay, so look, when people say, look, this shows you who Michael was, because there are some people who are younger who don't know. They don't know how people were fainting. Men and women are passing out. Michael is just standing there. He hasn't even started performing. Okay, they had to have the ambulance there because people are passing out just witnessing this man's greatness. Okay, I'm just happy I was there to see it, you know, when I was younger. Now, I was little when this was all going on, but if you're a millennial, look, Michael was famous and he's still famous, but until he passed away, everybody knew who he was. Everybody, he was the king. And everybody went crazy to see him. All right. I remember watching Beyonce and Justin Timberlake give him the Icon Award. We remember the concert in New York City. That was an event all over TV before 9/11 happened. We remember the interview with the Bashir guy. We remember it in the interviews before that. We grew up seeing Remember the Time was an event on the TV. It was an event. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, was an event. The Earth Song was an event. When he married Lisa Marie Presley, it was an event. And I can honestly say, oh my God, I was alive to see it and witness it. We used to see VH1 and BET playing Michael Jackson's Thriller. Every year it was an event. And that was made before I believe I was even born. But I'm a millennial. So I grew up when Michael was alive, and I grew up seeing all his music when I was little. The Moonwalker film he did, I remember that and going crazy, okay? So we grew up, he's been a star for every generation, okay? From the 60s until the time he passed away, and even now. So because there are people who think, oh, only boomers and Gen X. No, millennials too. We all grew up with watching him and seeing the craziness and the obsession and the greatness. He was the king. And there are people who are Gen Z and Gen Alpha who love him, but they don't all know. They really don't know. And like people like, baby, you ain't seen a star like what you think. Okay, people are mentioning Beyonce and Taylor Swift. Like, yeah, they're stars. Michael was a megastar. He's the star that your stars wanted to be and were obsessed with. Again, Beyonce, again, people always bring up her name. Yes, she went solo, but baby, I remember watching the award show when they gave him the Icon Award and how people lost their minds to meet and see Michael. Michael was that man, the greatest musician in history. This is facts. And when you see these videos, have you seen celebrities, musicians today having men and women fainting and passing out all over the place and they haven't even started singing? You ain't seen nothing like this. You can't even compare anybody to him. Everybody knew who he was, and he did it without social media and the internet. The biggest star on the globe, Princess Diana, had to meet him, and they met each other. We all seen it when they show it on TV and stuff. It was a big deal. Michael was that man, and you can never take away his legacy. No matter what some people want to do, it's never happening because no musician is on that man's level. You ain't gonna never see nothing like this again. And I'm actually, the fact that I see now that there are actually Gen Alpha and Gen Z, not all of them, some of them love him, but there are a number who really don't know. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I actually saw it. I was there. I grew up with Michael, watching Michael. Okay. I loved the Jackson 5 and the movie, and I discovered his music that was out before I was born when he was a child star, and Thriller and Rock With You. And what I saw, like, I remember again how it was an event when Remember the Time premiered all over the TV. I remember seeing it and just watching him, and just everyone loved Michael. So I think millennials, we were kind of like the last that actually witnessed this greatness, and other people after, but we really saw it. And and the people before us, who the boomers and the Gen X too, who saw him in Jackson 5 and when he did the Moonwalker at the award show. Okay, and then we saw later and that. So yeah, I'm really lucky, and it's amazing. So yeah, you can't take away Michael's greatness. It's never going to happen, no matter what some people want.
What if I told you that people thought that Michael Jackson's best years was behind him? See, everybody talk about Thriller like it was destiny. But truth is, Michael Jackson was supposed to fall off until he had moonwalked past everybody who had doubt. Okay, let's rewind. Before Thriller, Michael Jackson was a prodigy kid. Of course, you know the group Jackson 5. See, the Jacksons was making moves in the 60s, but the mid-70s, the shine was fading. Jackson 5 was not top charting anymore. And before leaving Motown, Motown only had them performing their old music. And that was the reason why they had moved to Epic Records, so they can have more control to write more music. Now the industry, they was whispering like, shit, it's over for them. What the fuck Mike do? He pulled a Beyonce before Beyonce. See, in 1979, Off the Wall, Disco, Funk and Soul. See, that album was a dance floor weapon. It sold millions, and it had gave us Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, and proved that he can dominate the charts without his brothers. But here's the crazy part. The Grammys had snubbed him for Album of the Year. Michael Jackson only went home that night with the R&B Best Vocal Performance. Michael was pissed. So they don't think I'm him, okay? You want to only give me one award, bitch? I'm going to show them who's bad. I'm talking about MJ had took it personal like Michael Jordan had took it personal when he got cut from the varsity team. He was obsessed, writing affirmations, changing everything about him. Now comes Thriller. Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson had crafted something that was going to be for everybody. It's like pop for the suburbs, rock for MTV, and funk for the soul. Every single one of them motherfuckers was a hit. And you know it. You know, like Beat It, Billie Jean. That song right there had made MTV rewrite their rule book and put the first black artist on their network. And as soon as Thriller was just at the top, one of the best-selling albums of all time, Michael Jackson said, that ain't enough. You mean to tell me that you got the best-selling album of all time, and because it started to go down just a little bit, it's not enough? He put down his own money to finance Thriller music video, and the industry was against that shit. They was like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, it's already like the most popular song. What the fuck what do you want, Mike? But Michael was like, y'all need to trust and believe because I am him. And that music video was not just a music video. It broke records. It was the first music video that was considered as a short fucking film. I think that was the first music video that actually had a disclaimer of how scary it was. It was the first scary music video. It is considered as the best album of all time. It is in the book of Guinness in the year 1984. Most Grammy wins in a single night.
longest #1 on Billboard 200. The album has spent 37 non-consecutive weeks at #1. And everybody know about Motown 25. I ain't gonna put you through that. See, people think this is over time. This is in 1 year. Michael Jackson had a night that Kendrick had this year, that he had last year. He broke barriers, broke records, and even his brother Jermaine did not believe before the album dropped that it was gonna be a hit. In your face, Jermaine. He did not just sell albums, he sold experiences. So next time somebody say that Thriller was just an Halloween song, it's the sound of a man that had rewrote history. If you had learned something new, drop that Shimon, because we're going to show you who's bad.
So they finally dropped the trailer to the new Michael biopic. I still don't know if I'm ever saying that right. And it's only 1.5 minutes long, but they showed us all the big scenes, like, the moonwalk and then Jackson 5 and the Motown, the whole 9 yards. And I definitely will be there April 24th, and all I can hope is that it's better than this. If you don't remember the biopic, what the hell is it that they did with Flex Washington on VH1? At this point, I just hope it holds up to the Jacksons, The American Dream, which came out like 30 years ago. And the one biggest takeaway from this that I took was, we now know that he was saying, Mama say, Mama sama makusa, not I'ma say what I said, I'm not gonna stop. Jaafar Jackson, the nephew of Michael Jackson, will be playing the titular character. And just seeing some of these classic moments of Michael has me very excited for the movie. They didn't show any of the more dramatic and sensationalized moments of his life. I guess we'll have to wait till we get to the full trailer to see all that. But yeah, please, dear God, be better than this.
So look, I'm excited. A lot of people are excited. And I mean, look at Michael. Again, the man was beautiful and talented. You're not going to see another Michael Jackson in your life. It can't be done again. It was meant for him and he did it. And a lot of people, look, he's the greatest entertainer that's ever lived, but also he changed things. He changed things for black musicians. Remember, MTV wasn't playing black music artists at that time. So Michael was able to change that. Also, Michael was one of the first celebrities that when you see people do when you see relief and you see celebrities trying to get people to donate money when a natural disaster happens or there's hunger, Michael Jackson was the one, a humanitarian. We are the world, to help feed children who were starving in Africa. And he had all those celebrities come together and do that amazing song, We Are the World, and the donations pouring in. Michael was the one. Michael changed how music videos look. The way you see videos now, Michael is the one who had videos looking like a real production, a real movie. Okay, Michael changed choreography. Yes, you had people who were dancers. He was inspired by dancers before him, but they didn't dance like him. And you didn't see all this choreography in music videos, okay? So Michael changed the game. A lot of people say Michael is the blueprint. He's who a lot of artists wanted to be and still want to be. And he's on a different level than all of your favorites. He's the mega star, and then you have superstars type of thing. And to me, there's only a sprinkle of the legends to me that's still living. Okay. Like I said, you got Mariah Carey, you have Anita Baker, Toni Braxton, Celine Dion, Madonna. Those are who I think are really up there. There's maybe a sprinkle I've left out, Sade, but yeah, Mariah Carey. So, y'all know how I feel about Mariah, up there. So it's pretty amazing. Amazing. Michael did it, and he will remain a legend forever. People said, look, in 1,000 or 2,000 years, they probably still will be talking about Michael Jackson. Okay, his album Thriller still is the greatest selling album of all time. Okay, and he really gave a performance, even getting really fixed up, the glitter, the glam, the sparkle, and still doing it in a masculine way, and being a real artist, a real musician, and entertainer. And you'll never see what we saw with Michael. No one's seen it since, to be honest with you. Not like with him. I'm sorry. No. I mean, people, the streets lined up down the street if he was in town, and not being able to go to an NBA game or any sports event because it would just be people going out of their mind to see him. He was magic. you know, like somebody you hear of, but oh my God, they actually exist. You know, the glove, his signature glitter glove. And I mean, we haven't seen nothing like this. And you'll never see it again, to be real with you. And Michael did it, and his legacy will live on. And his nephew Jaafar playing him, I mean, this is his blood, and he does look like him in some angles. And look, Tina Turner didn't no, Angela Bassett didn't look like Tina Turner, but that film is legendary. Okay, what's love got to do with it? Denzel Washington didn't look like Malcolm X, but Denzel played the hell out of that role. And it is great when they do look similar, but Denzel and Angela Bassett is proof that, you know, sometimes you don't and you can still just make a masterpiece type of thing. So again, that is it for this video. Here's another picture of Michael. Again, Michael just had beautiful eyes. He had a beautiful smile, and I really love his bone structure. And that's one thing I can say about the Jacksons. The Jacksons, look, they have some beautiful eyes to me. Beautiful. Okay, look at Janet. You got Janet. There's a few I'm missing. I know. I'm not showing everybody, but I mean, when I see Rebe right next to Michael, I mean, oh my God, her and Janet look very strongly alike. Okay, LaToya, those beautiful baby doll, very soft, beautiful eyes. They all have those eyes, a lot of them, and that beautiful smile. They all have a beautiful smile. Those are the two things I notice about the Jacksons is their eye shape and their smile. Really good teeth and really beautiful eyes, a beautiful smile, and very clear skin. So yeah, they're a legendary family. They are Black American royalty. They are American royalty, and the world loves the Jackson family. You know, there's someone you can be proud of. Like, man, you know, when people say the greatest entertainer and musician known to man in the world, loved by everyone, yes, a family, a Black American family from Indiana who did that. So it's amazing. So that is it, everybody. Please like, share, and subscribe. This was a little bit different. I didn't go live today, but I'm just sharing the news, some stories, and I'm really excited to see this film. And I know that the red carpet is going to be off the chain. Like, probably everybody is going to come out to that premiere to see this. Okay, they might even have some of the impersonators there to see the film, and it's going to be great. People are going to dress up, and I'm so excited. I heard that the film is going to be 2 parts because the first film might be about 2 or 3 hours long, and then they'll have the second part. Now I'm hearing different things, but we'll see what happens. I do know I will be there when this comes out. I'm going to the theater, and again, I might wear my sequins top or jacket. I don't know for sure, but this is something that I don't want to miss. I want to be there to see this, and Michael's legacy will live on forever, forever. No, he's the king of pop. He's the king of music, in my opinion. And no one can take that away from him, ever. We hear a number of things that hasn't been proven, okay? People said they wanted his catalog or to smear his legacy. And Michael's not going to be washed away like he was some memory, like he wasn't on the earth, okay? And Gen Z and Gen Alpha, if they didn't know who he was or his impact and how serious it was when Michael was on the earth, baby, they probably going to find out after seeing this film. Okay, so that's it, everybody. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think at in the comment section. You all take care. Bye.